Hello everyone, JSGC here again, and we're here for another Manchester City transfer update, delivering you all the latest ins, outs, and a little bit of contract news too. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure you press the red button, subscribe if you're new around here, press the bell and put your push notifications on. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy this video. Make sure you let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and you can go and check out my social media links, which you can find in description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and check out my Twitter and Instagram. So we're going to move on to this transfer update, and we're going to be moving on to the ins, and we're going to be speaking about a player that we've been speaking about now for probably about 6 weeks or so. Comes in the form of Joao Cancelo of Juventus. We've got another update on him. Now, it was been reported yesterday that Manchester City, they're still looking to try and sign Joao Cancelo. However, they do believe that Bayern Munich, they're chasing him too. They are believed now to be ahead of Manchester City in the queue, which isn't good news considering we need to sort out the future of Danilo. That'll take time, and we don't really have time on our hands for this transfer. So as far as I'm aware, Manchester City are interested and they're hunting around, but nothing really much more from there. They kind of withdrawn their interest and the deal stalled, and that's where we're at this moment in time. And I think City are just assessing their options because, well, the transfer window's long and we're waiting for things to happen. But in terms of Cancelo, Mauricio Sarri, new Juventus manager, obviously former Chelsea man, now he is apparently authorised a sale for Joao Cancelo. Doesn't want him, doesn't see him as part of his plans, and apparently because of this, Joao Cancelo already has, quotation marks here, his suitcase packed. So that, read into that what you will. It seems that he is set to leave Juventus, but for where? We don't know. We know Barcelona are also interested, along with Bayern and Manchester City. And as I said before, the biggest hurdle City's got here is Danilo. Now, if Danilo, and if he was to be agreed very soon, and he wants to leave Manchester City, City would step up this interest and they'd do it very quickly in Joao Cancelo. The problem we've got with Bayern and Barcelona being interested, if they are genuinely interested in signing him, then Juventus will want a bidding war, so the €50 million that City were willing to pay for him will no longer be valid. We obviously already know that Juventus wants €60 million, and if they know that City might get sniffed that they're willing to pay that, will then up the price and try and get as much money out of Manchester City as possible. This will be a long transfer, and if it was to happen, would happen later in the window. But we'll be chasing it all the way until I know that City are out of the running for Joao Cancelo, just like we are with Harry Maguire, so we don't really need to talk about that anymore. But at this moment in time, being reported, Bayern ahead of City in the race, and so where do we go from there? I'm not too sure. Found it a bit interesting when I was researching Bayern Munich, though, with terms of right-backs, because they have signed Benjamin Pavard. They brought him in. He can play at right-back. I think he can play across the defence too, so he's like a versatile player that they've brought in. But they've also got Kimmich that can play right-back too for Bayern Munich. And I was just reading about the Bayern Munich fans who aren't particularly too happy about them being linked with Joao Cancelo, because they're not so much to think that he's a bad player, it's just to think that Kimmich is better at right-back, so they want to use Kimmich there. And they're fearful that Cancelo will come in, will play right back, which means Kimmich will be used somewhere else, and they think that he's most effective at the right back position. That was the indication I was getting from Bayern Munich fans. Don't start thinking I'm some kind of expert on Bayern Munich, I'm not, but I was just reading into what their fans were saying, and the fans giving an indication that Cancelo isn't necessarily needed that much. I mean, Cancelo isn't needed at Man City at this moment in time, but should Danilo leave, he would be needed, and that's where we're at this moment in time. It's an incredibly frustrating deal, but I'll keep you up to date with everything that's happening in it. Either City will step up their interest, or City will cool their interest, and I'll be the first to bring that news to you. Now, I've got a bit more positive news. If you're a big fan of Manchester City's academy and City bringing in young players, then you'll like this news, because City are set to add another young player to their academy in the form of West Brom attacking midfielder Morgan Rogers. 16 years old, don't know much about him. Daily Mail reporting yesterday, though, that Manchester City, they just need to agree compensation package with West Bromwich Albion over the transfer before he'll become another youth signing for Manchester City, to add to players like yesterday Samuel Edozie that we brought in from Millwall for over £1 million. So there we go, that's the latest. We're bringing in another young academy player. Now, got another senior player to talk about, and the last to talk about in the ins comes in the form of Everton Soares. He's done an interview fresh off Brazil winning the Copa America. He's been speaking about his future. He said that he's been very focused this summer on Brazil and his international duty, and focusing on trying to win the Copa America. Obviously scored in the final, being assisted by Gabriel Jesus, who else, but he wants to sort his future out this summer, and he has said already that he does want a new challenge, and he's interested in a move to Europe. He plays for Gremio at the moment over in Brazil. He's got an €80 million release clause. It's believed that Gremio would accept around half that price of €40 million, which would be enough to sign him up. The problem we've got with Manchester City is we've got our non-homegrown players already sorted for the season, so we have to sell before we buy when bringing in players that aren't homegrown. Everton Soares wouldn't be homegrown, so we wouldn't be able to sign him without selling or letting someone else leave, and so for that, not too sure it would be viable for Manchester City to sign him. We could do what we did with Gabriel Jesus, sign him and leave him in Brazil until January, then bring him over, or we could sign him and loan him to somewhere else to see how he does in Europe. But Everton Suarez, he's 23 years old, he's becoming a more senior player now. He isn't a young youth player, a raw player that needs time to adapt, and he's not really got time on his hands. He isn't a player that's a teenager now, he's 23 years old, needs to hit the ground running, and City apparently the only club interested in signing him at this moment in time, which is surprising to me. 40 million euro, good price for a very good international player for Brazil, an attacking player too, so it'd be interesting, and we'll keep an eye on that one should City step up their interest. It would be quite interesting, but I'm not expecting City to sell any of their attacking players this summer unless Bayern Munich come in with a huge offer for Leroy Sané, which I very much doubt. So I'd say I'll just keep an eye on that one for now. But we'll move on to the outs, and this is an extremely, I don't want to say like interesting, but it's quite a sad situation, this one, in terms of transfers, if they can be sad. But sources in Spain were saying that Levante and Deportivo La Coruña, they're chasing Pablo Mari of Manchester City on loan, and apparently Pablo's been told by Pep that he just isn't in his plans, well, basically ever, for Manchester City, and so City is seeking to loan out Pablo Mari, which I don't understand. Why are we trying to loan out Pablo Mari when, if he's never in Manchester City's plans now, why don't we seek to sell him on a permanent basis so he can sort out his future for the long term, rather than just stringing him along with loan moves, which is why I said it's a bit sad, and I don't understand the policy there if we do loan him, if City aren't ever going to utilise him. Transfers for you. So we'll move on to Phillip Sandler, because I know quite a few people interested in Phillip Sandler, but he's posted on Instagram yesterday that he was now in Brussels. Of course, he was watching the Anderlecht Ajax game the other day, so we already knew a rough idea that he was there anyway, but there we go, there's official confirmation of it, and we're expecting that deal to be done soon. Now, this is going to be a loan move until the end of the season, where he'll be joining up with Vincent Kompany. Pep's been speaking about Phillip Sandler, rates Phillip Sandler, and wanted to stay at Manchester City because of this. And so, sources in Belgium, they're saying that as part of this loan deal for Phillip Sandler to go on loan to Anderlecht, he's going there for experience and for learning, for him to develop. There is no option for him to be bought at the end of this loan, and so there isn't an option there to buy for Anderlecht. And so Manchester City purely sending him out for a learning basis for him to get experience. So when that does go through, I will announce it to you. But we're expecting that to go through within the coming days. Won't be surprised to see Phillip Sandler put on a new deal and then be announced for him to go and join Anderlecht, because we have already done that, and we'll speak about that now. So this is like the outs and contract news mixed into one. Comes in the form of Aro Muric. Now, he returned from his holiday this week. Obviously, most Manchester City players have returned from their holidays this week to resume pre-season training, and he was expected to sign for Nottingham Forest either today or tomorrow. That was going to be a season-long loan. Just having a little research of Nottingham Forest, they've got like a third-choice keeper I've not heard of, but he's also competing with Luke Steele, who's a good like League One goalkeeper if you're under his qualities, and they've also got Constel Pantilimon, if you remember him, at Manchester City, former Premier League goalkeeper, a very good goalkeeper, so he's got a lot of competition there. Aro Muric is expected to be Nottingham Forest #1, hence he's actually joined them. If he weren't going to be #1, City definitely wouldn't have loaned him to them. There's a lot of competition for them to win his signature. Lots of clubs in the Championship, lots of clubs abroad were chasing Aro Muric, so Nottingham Forest, they are winning the race. But I was just thinking that this loan really does need to be right, because it comes to a situation in 12 months' time where I'm expecting Aro Muric, if he has a very good loan this time round, to become Manchester City's new second-choice goalkeeper. There has to come a time when Claudio Bravo will leave Manchester City, and when he does, we need a ready-made replacement, and we've already got one in Aro Muric. So he's just been sent out on loan to get some experience and see how he does in a competitive league like the Championship. So I'm hoping that he's going to be playing all 46 games in the Championship next season. If he doesn't, I'll be very disappointed, and he has got a lot of competition there. So it is a risky loan, this one. So I do hope it does go well. If it doesn't, I'm not sure where we go from there. But only an hour ago, it was announced officially by Nottingham Forest that they had signed Aro Muric on a season-long loan. So I'd say the best of luck to Aro Muric, and hope he nails his loan to Nottingham Forest. but also City have announced it too, and they've also announced that he's been put on an extra 3-year extension onto his current Manchester City contract. So he signed a new contract with Manchester City, keeping him at Manchester City until 2024, which I think is absolutely great news. So well done to Aro Muric. Hope you go and have a fantastic loan in Nottingham. So there we go. That's been the video. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You can go and check out my social media links, which you can find in the description below and popping up on screen if you want to follow me on Twitter and stay up to date with everything happening with Manchester City, and also my Instagram to keep up to date with everything happening with me, JSGC. Then you can go and follow me on there. And also, if you want to subscribe, make sure you do subscribe. Press the red button, make sure you press the bell and put your push notifications on. Aiming for 5,000 subscribers. We're right close to 4.2k subscribers, so I'm hoping we'll be able to hit that this morning and then be able to move on from there, making some good gains. So everyone seems to be enjoying the video, so I'll see you all again tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I'll see you then. So it's been JSGC. Hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. Ciao for now.